evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've been asked to come and say a few words to you tonight in exchange for being able to promote my business to you. I can cut you here. If you're looking like a disgrace, you need to come to Tony Maloney, okay? I can cut you here even during the lockdown, okay? I got the cutting skills. Now I have to say the other bit. Welcome to the Shed Show. This is the best show online. You're going to have a great time. There's going to be some songs. There's going to be some entertainment. Enjoy yourselves. Grab a drink. Blah-de, blah-de, blah. See you around.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was Tony! It was Tony, ladies and gentlemen. How cool was that? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Tony, you need to... Wait, Tony's left his music running. Good evening, everyone. Turn your music off, Tony.
Tony's gone.
Tony's gone. Good evening. Good evening. Woo! Welcome to... That was Tony. Tony. Tony, the lockdown hairdresser.
I can't get up. Ah!
You're all right. You're all right, Gemma. Don't worry. Come on. You're all right. Tony, the lockdown hairdresser. Good evening, everyone.
Tony.
Oh, good evening. What a guy that man is.
High five me as he went
Oh
past.
God, he looks a bit like
good.
He looks a bit like our kids. I can't sort of get my head around. I know he's familiar. I can't put my finger. You've not met him though, have you? Did you meet him?
No, just high-fived
He's always
me
in a rush, that man.
on his way
He's got to
out.
cut some more illegal hair.
Yes.
Welcome to Stand Up From the Shed. Gemma, let's play the song, babe.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Okay.
8:15 on a Thursday night, and I grab my drink and I feel alright. Ain't got nowhere else to go, so I'm going to the garden to the Shed Show. Shed Show. Shed Show. Shed Show. Oh yeah. Good evening. Oh, good evening. Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Shed Show. Gemma Bennett, good evening. Back down there she goes, onto the carpet.
Yes.
Good evening. We've got everyone here. We've got Rachel, Mary, people nipping to the loo. People going to the bar, people wanting pints like save your seat. Sarah Gee's at the front again.
They're looking for Tony.
They're looking for Tony. It's too late. He's gone. He's gone. Good evening. Welcome. Hello, self-isolators. Good evening, homeschoolers. And good evening to the unemployed, who for this is Thursday. Welcome. I just wanted to say thank you all for joining us.
Yay!
Again, and let me just tell you, it is so hot in here.
It's week 10.
It's week 10 hours of this.
What?
10 hours of shouting
This is
inside a wooden
much.
bunker. It's not normal, is it? I mean,
No.
the other thing is, Gemma, the thing is, I'm not going to go into detail, but I'm in shorts tonight, and I'll be honest with you, the inside of my testicles and inner thighs have fallen in love, and it's just a mess down there. You can't see because I'm in the shorts. I can't even lift my knee up, but it's just like peeling a tax disc off a window down there. It's so sweaty. So we're here, and thank you so much for coming. It's show number 10. Show number 10, the 10th birthday show. But we've not even done it. We've not bought ourselves a card or anything. We're just doing it. I mean, I tell you what I have bought. I seem to have bought 131 beautiful people watching and a stable bloody internet connection.
Oh,
Thank
God,
you.
don't say
I know
it,
I've jinxed
please.
it now. That's it. We're
Oh,
dead.
God.
No, we're all right. We're all right. We're all right. Listen. I want to just say as well. People are always. They were scrutinising in the background, Gemma.
Yes.
I mentioned this last week, and I've not spotted. We got a couple of things in the background which I want to talk about. This one, Gemma.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, darling?
Yeah.
I've shown Gemma it under the kit. This, by the way, is in the back. This is a candle my 9-year-old daughter bought at made.
No.
She made this at school, didn't she?
On a school trip.
On a school trip to Amsterdam, by the looks of it. Which teacher, gives that back to the pupil? Go and give that to your mum and dad. Show them what we've been up to on our school trip. I can't get my head. That is just filth, isn't it? Unbelievable.
We're saving that for our 18th.
We are saving that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with that. So there's that one, and then also here, Gemma, in the background, I've got this, which is the This is a little
this
because
little thing.
I don't know if you notice when celebrities are on, they've got like their BAFTAs or things like that in the background, and I've got this, which is I don't know if you noticed, Gemma. It's the Midlands Comedy Awards, Best Act, twice. Don't laugh.
Don't knock it, love.
It's twice in a row. And look at that. There's a lovely bolt on the bottom from the trophy shop, and I'm going to tell you this: Midlands Best Act twice in a row, right? And what that means, Gemma, is I'm funny in between a Newark postcode and Worcester. That's the sort of anything further above, Gem, the jokes don't work.
No,
so
that's it.
Here we go. The other thing I've seen is I'm going to tell you this before we get going. I've got lots to tell you. I saw a guy out earlier on, Gemma, with his whole family cycling, and he had a GoPro on his helmet.
Oh.
Yeah, and I just thought, how wonderful is that? He thinks like he's in some high octane thing. He's gone out with his family. He's got a GoPro on his helmet. Mate, that's not footage you're going to be sharing with the community, is it? That's not impressive. Do you know what I mean? You stood at the back, you know, you're messing with your daughter's princess bike. Do you know what I mean? It's not particularly, you're not going off-roading, are you? But we've got a bit of buffering, I think, have we? I don't know. Should we just going to plough on, Gemma, I think?
Just carry on.
We're just going to carry on. We're just going to carry on. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I hope this is... Yeah, it seems to be. I have to wait for this. Oh,
just
God.
keep going.
I'll just keep going. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome. I'm just very hot. I'm just going to dab myself again with this. Whew, I'm dabbing myself. It's very warm in here. And the thing with the broadband situation is we've got these sort of... This is a constant saga, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now I'm worried. What do I do? Do we keep going? We keep going. Now, can you get people watching the stream?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Right, okay, we keep going. So, right, the troubles continue, right? Because I rang up for this broadband because I just said, look, I've got 141 people in Leeds. I've got no hairbrush. I'm missing a hairbrush. I've got 101. Thank you, Gemma. I've got 141 people in Leeds, right? Who are relying on me for their entertainment. Do you know what I mean? And now, if I've got no broadband, I can't do it. So they put me through. They put me through to the basically. They put me through to what I've described now as the we're on. But they put me through to what I like to describe the Nano Department. And it's a very clever thing within businesses now. Like they put you through to this Nano Department, and they're so lovely, these women, that you're completely disarmed. It's a really clever system, isn't it? You go through, and you're so angry, you're so emotional, and you go through, and you're like, this isn't happening. I'm really unhappy about this. My broadband's terrible, and I'm not happy about it. And they'll put you through. And if it was a young lad called Sebastian, do you know what I mean? Who just goes, hi, my name's Sebastian. Do you mind if I call you mate? No, you're a prick. I don't want you to call me mate. But they put you through, and this woman, bless her, she was called, I think she was called Dorothy or something, and she was like, oh dear, hello darling, what's the matter with your broadband? And I just saw her like she was on a tartan rocking chair. That's what I envisaged, on a tartan rocking chair with a little Scotty dog. It's still going, but I can't see the stream. Anyway, a little Scotty dog, and she's got like a little bag of shortbread on her knee, and like she was just there, and I imagine I was talking to her. It's like a little Lorraine Kelly, and the thing is, I'm sort of, she was like, I imagine her sat there on the Isle of Skye, right, and like saying to her, shouting out, Gemma, Malcolm, the little wee flashing box is ringing. What do I do? Pick it up, Mum. Pick it up. And she's like, hello. And I was, oh, God. And then I went straight in. I was like, this isn't happening. I've got this broadband. I'm relying on this connection. Do you know what I mean? I've got two girls at home. Oh, two wee girls. Oh, what are their names? I'm like, that's not important, Dorothy. Oh, I said they're Olivia and Sophia. Oh, they're lovely names. Oh, right. And I was just like, the problem is the upload speed. Oh, it's always the upload speed, darling. Oh, and then she said to me, I've had it in my area. I was like, all right. And then I started to disarm because I was like, it basically was a chat with an old lady. That's what I was doing. She was like, oh yeah, we all clubbed together, me, Super Gran, we all, and eventually we got our broadband. It was wonderful. I was like, oh, brilliant. Well, that covers the infrastructure of where you are. What about me? And this is the thing, like, she really wanted to help, Gemma, and she made me feel guilty in the end. I felt terrible at the end because she was like, oh, well, the thing is, I'd love to come down. I was surprised she didn't say, I'd love to come down there myself, scale the pole with some copper wire, put the broadband in, because, you're moaning about your internet. People are dying. No, we're not, your little shitty show in a shed. It's not really registering, is it, Mr. Bennett? And I just, in the end, I left it, Gemma. I've signed up for another 3 years and she's coming to our house for Christmas. That's how bad she's done me. But I want to say as well, like, that guilt thing's an amazing thing. Like, my mum is fantastic at that, my mum. She's brilliant. Because she can make me feel guilty. Like, she doesn't mean to, but like, I'll ring her and I'll say, oh, hi mum, are you all right? She's like, yeah. What are you up to this week? And this before this kicks off. What are you up to this weekend? I said, well, I'm busy, mum, I'm working actually. Oh, I thought you might want to come and see your mum and dad. Because we're up here on our own and, you know, we've not got long now. We won't be a burden on you much longer because life's about family, isn't it? Well, I thought you said you had plans, mum. We have. We're going to sit here together in a darkened room, looking at old photo albums and waiting for death to take us. Bye, love. Bye. And she'll turn to me dad and go, he'll be here. He'll be. She knows I'm coming. I can't turn that down. So, good evening, everyone. I've got to say as well, good evening to Janet Griffin. She says it's really wonderful because every week I say good evening to Janet Griffin and I never mention her husband. And her husband's really annoyed. Well, good evening, Janet Griffin, and the husband, whose name I've forgotten. I'm joking. John Griffin. Good evening, John. There, you've had your mention. Now, wallpaper the spare room, mate. Come on. So, this is the thing, right? I think the other thing I've noticed, right, is that people are enjoying lockdown. I've read this, like they're frightened, honestly, because they're frightened of going back to their normal life, Gemma. Yeah. The normal life of the chaos of not seeing the kids and working so hard and sitting in traffic, and now they're feeling a little bit free. It's ironic now that I think they're scared. You shouldn't be laughing at this bit. I think they're scared. This is my Edinburgh bit, this. They're scared of going back to their normal lives. It's incredible. But the other thing is, of course, it doesn't excuse the Cove idiots. They're back, Gemma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on here, because am I being a moron? Right, queuing up, Gemma, 2 metres apart in Co-op for my 1 pint of milk and granary loaf. It takes me about 2 hours to do that, right? Yeah. And then these people are sticking the kids in a people carrier, bunging the roof box on the bunging the roof box on the top, sticking the kayak on the back, and pissing off to Cornwall for the weekend. I mean, is that? Am I the idiot? Right? You know, because I think it's the sun, Gemma. It's the sun that makes British people mad. Like, just look at the way we react. As soon as the temperature creeps above 20 degrees, all the bell ends get the tops off. You're in there. You're like, listen, mate. We're in Lidl. It's not the Algarve. Get it back on. I don't want to see your jelly tot nipples. 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. And in many ways, Gemma, the men are worse. But the point is, the thing is, the people went to Skegness, Gemma. There was a 40-minute queue to get into Skegness. That's unheard of. I mean, I've heard of a 40-minute queue to get out, but not to get in. And there was one public toilet. Public toilet, man. And that would put me off, wouldn't it, you? It'd be more hygienic to just go in the sea, wouldn't it? Do you know, just be sat there with the family, all round, having your picnic, Gem, and just silently just get up and just set off towards the ocean. I'll be back in a minute. Just turn round, just squat like that, and then come out of that sea, Gemma, looking like the worst Bond girl of all time. Just like come out, Ursula arse mess. Just coming out like that. We've got everyone here. It's amazing. Oh yeah, thank you. We got 133 people. The hardcore few. All right, we're doing all right, mate. We're going all right. The other thing is what I want to say is, like, my mum and dad love Skegness. Like, my dad always said he wanted to be buried there. And I said to my mum, why wait till he dies? Let's do it now, he's annoying. I just want to enjoy this holiday. Come on, let's get some peace for once. And every year, my mum and dad would take us to Skegness for a 2-week holiday, Gemma, because they didn't love us very much. And one year, my dad, this is true story, sweetheart, found something on the beach, an unexploded bomb, right? It's true, isn't it? It's true. When he said, let's go down there and look at some shells, that's not quite what I had in mind, right? And he was just there. The Ministry of Defence, they've been flying like planes over, right, doing exercises and dropping these sort of blanks, basically. And I don't know what the government recommend when you stumble across something like that. It's probably stand well back, clear the area, alert the authorities, right? It certainly isn't ask a child to grab the other end and put it in the boot of a Vauxhall Cavalier. That's never going to work. Come on, son, it's a little piece of history, this. Yes, and if it goes off, Dad, that's exactly what will be. Put it back. And we're carrying it. Everyone's walking with people like that, just going, what are these two here? My dad said to stop, just keep walking. If we get stopped, we'll say we're the army. the army. You're in a shell suit and I'm 9, mate. What's this? That's not a regiment, that's a scout group, pal. And he took it home. Germany took it home in the boot. He was rolling around on the M62. Every corner we went round, I was doing Hail Marys. I thought we were going to die. And he said, like, this is that's the era before speed bumps. If there was speed bumps, Gemma, I wouldn't be here now. But that's the thing. I think we're sort of trying. We're trying as best, and that's why this question I wanted to ask this week. It's time for question of the week, Gemma.
Oh, right.
You need to get up off your feet because now, darling, the lactic acid has kicked in, and now you're struggling.
Right, what are we on question of the week?
Question of the week.
Okay.
Let's play the theme.
Here we go.
Good evening, everyone. Question of the week. I've done good evening. The question of the week is, right, what do you miss from your childhood, right?
Aww.
And there's some beautiful ones. A case in point, Vicky Ann Marshall, she said, my body not aching or cracking and being able to sit in a position, the same position without cramp getting in. Ask Gemma about that.
Tell me about it.
I've seen my daughters, Gemma, they can watch Frozen for 2 hours in the lotus position. They're like in SAS stress positions like this. I'm like, how are you doing that? How can you? I tried to go to yoga, do you remember? And I said, I tried to go to yoga, and she said to me, are you all right, Mr. Bennett? I said, I'm really uncomfortable. She says, we haven't started yet. I'm just asking you to kneel on a mat, you idiot. Well, I couldn't do it. So I get what you mean there. And everyone, by the way, Gemma, everyone's mentioned sweets.
Oh.
Every single person has mentioned sweets. They've mentioned like candy cigarettes, right? And candy cigarettes. Do you remember that? And they banned them. Because they thought they were encouraging kids to smoke. Like, in that case, well, sherbet must be encouraging us to do lines of coke. I mean, I don't understand the logic there. I mean, no one thought they were going to start smoking. They're tiny packets.
Yeah.
I mean, you're smoking with a borrower. I mean, tiny little packet. And do you know what I loved about that as well is, while they were worrying about that, Gemma, the government, we were going down the park on a Friday night, drinking vodka and getting smashed. I don't know. The Catherine Nix, Gemma, she's written in.
Oh,
Catherine, hello Catherine, good evening. Hers is brilliant. Going for a drive on a Sunday.
Oh,
that's such an 80s thing, isn't it? Because your dad would say, we're going out for a drive. And he didn't know, because in those days, no speed cameras, nothing on the road.
No.
Drink driving, basically legal. It's just
nobody seatbelt.
No seatbelts in the back. You're bouncing around like aerialators. And what I love about that is you go out, wouldn't you? You go out and you go like, we'll get to a beer garden. You could go in the garden. And you get in the beer garden. I always remember I was in the beer garden once, Gemma, and my dad says, we'll sneak him a little pint. He can have his first half a lager, and half a Foster's for a lad. Yeah. And my mum was like, don't be stupid. He's like, he's fine, he's in a beer garden. And I'm like, no, what are you doing, Roy? He's driving us home. I used to take him home on a... But so that's a lovely memory there. This is another one, Gemma. Pearl Floyd. I love Pearl Floyd. That's a tribute to Pink Floyd, isn't it? Anyway, she said that she misses screaming and throwing herself on the floor, having a tantrum in the supermarket and getting away with it. I love that. Do you know what, Pearl? I'd love to be able to do that in an office. Imagine that you didn't get your promotion, straight down, paddy in, doing that. Oh, that would be wonderful. Just throw yourself to the floor. There's so many. There's absolutely millions here. They've got Neil Winfield. I've got to mention this one.
Yeah, hi Neil.
He misses not taking half a day to climb out of bed, and he says it'd be rubbish if a burglar broke in, because by the time he got up and found his glasses, the guy had gone. Right? Now, here's an interesting thing, Neil. Before all this kicked off, mate, I used to come in at weird hours, didn't I?
Yeah,
so at 2, 3 in the morning, Gemma was asleep, right? And I always said to her, if we got burgled, she'd just wake up and go, do you have a good gig? Go back to sleep again. The bloke could be walking out with a laptop under his arms, you know. There's just so many. Michelle Dunn. I miss being able to suck my big toe. Michelle, why?
Oh,
why,
do you know what?
Michelle?
Sophia can do that. She was biting her toenails the other day.
If I could lift my foot up here.
Oh, your feet are
these
grim.
trotters, Michelle, they're absolute. Gemma sat down with the talons. They're not trotters.
They are hideous.
She can hear me coming when I walk on the wooden floor.
Oh, no.
I'm like a velociraptor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the other thing is as well, they're purple. Because of my circulation, I don't know if I mentioned this, I've got like bad... Raynaud's. I went to the doctor's with because these are like, they're proper purple, like Gonzo's nose. And I went to the thing, right? I went to the thing, the doctors, and I waited to see him, right? And he used all his expertise, Gemma.
Yeah.
5 years in medical school,
Yeah.
all that training. Do you know what he prescribed?
Go on.
Socks. Incredible. Here's the other one. This is my favourite one. I'm going to have to tell you this before I go. We've got, before we move on, Julia Hamer, childhood older brothers, this is brutal, putting a sleeping bag over my head, gaffer taping my ankles together, and then rugby tackling me from any angle. Julia! Oh, Julia, that's horrendous, mate.
Bless.
You're a tackle bag, a speaking tackle bag. I mean, good God,
That's brutal.
I mean, that's the thing, innit? My two girls, imagine that if it was with a boy there.
God.
Sophia, you get some proper air tackling that one at the moment.
Yeah.
I tell you what I miss. I miss the innocence of being a kid, Gemma.
Yeah.
I miss school discos. And I don't know if you remember the school discos. I'd turn up, I'd have my Reebok pump on, me England tracksuit, Gem, rock hard gel hair. Do you know that sort of ectoplasm gel that you'd scoop up and you'd just smack it on, and it'd stay there for hours. It was like a helmet up there, right? That stuff was so toxic. Basically, I think if you'd have put it on the floorboards, it'd take the varnish off, right? And you spend all night, don't you, sliding on your knees if you're a lad, eating cola bottles and just avoiding the teachers. You get sweaty, love. Do you remember like kids sweat, bouncing castle sweaty?
Yeah.
Do you know like that sort of like when
yeah.
they open the doors at the end and the steam comes out? Like you got that sort of. Kids are just running around with their tongues out like that, powered by E numbers like that. Gemma, just like a saliva river of multicoloured skittles just coming down like that, and you just go hang around behind the wall bars, and it all builds up to that moment at the end of the disco, the last dance, right? And you'd always like some girl would come up to you and go, Joanne wants to dance with you, and all your mates would go, yeah. And you'd be like, oh God, Joanne wants to dance, Joanne wants to dance, and all that dance is just stand up, Gemma, right? This is stand up, Gem. Good God. Come on, this is a aerobic exercise.
I didn't know this was in the script.
I don't give you a script, do I? Otherwise you'd never do it.
No.
Right? Here's the demonstration of the last dance at a school disco, right? All you do is come towards me and you just fall into each other like that. Just fall onto me like that. Imagine the bangles are on.
Oh, I'm sweaty now.
Come on, this is a school
That's
disco.
enough.
No, I need to demonstrate the job.
Okay.
Say my name. Sunshine through the rain.
I can't hear you singing when you're in my shoulder.
I'm lonely. Come and ease. This is a tender moment. And then if you were really bad, you'd put your hand on a bum like this. And I remember, because all the parents are stood watching. All the parents are stood watching, right?
Oh, God.
And they're all like, you just look and you just see her dad with his car keys getting really angry.
Yeah.
It's just such a weird environment. But do you know what? Rejection gets better as you get older. It gets easier to deal with. That's the other thing. You're very naive at that age. You don't understand what a girlfriend is. A girlfriend is someone you hold hands with. And that's it. And you know what? Rejection got better. Because I'm going to tell you this, Gemma, a little window into my life. At the prom, the final year of college, do you know this, Gemma?
No.
Awards, I was voted the funniest person of the year. They saw talent. They knew what they were. Basically, it's that 20 years earlier.
God.
And at the same moment when I went to get the award, my prom date got off with another lad. Thanks for laughing, Gemma. That's my life. If you're laughing at there, right? And so basically, right, and I watched it, and I just like, but what could I do, Gemma? I had to laugh about it. Funniest person of the year. I had no choice. But you know what, Gemma? I've since looked her up. on Facebook, and I'm happy to report, darling, she's a bitter divorcee with 5 kids. So, who's laughing now? Who's laughing now, love? The other thing is, right, we've got some more here. Oh, Adele Turner, Gemma.
Yes,
she misses about
Adele.
childhood, being able to sneeze without wetting herself. Oh, Adele. Oh, Adele, are you all right? Are you Dorothy on the phone line? Adele's ready for the home, aren't you? Come on, Adele. Don't make me laugh. I'll piss myself.
Oh God, do you know what? She's bang on the money there, love.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's awful.
Oh, we got 139 people sticking with us. Right, I think the other thing is, it's just much tougher for kids now, love. I think it's much tougher because, do you know when I think kids now, it's overstimulated, their lives. Yes. This has been a brilliant thing for the kids, this COVID, because they slow down. Their lives are mental, right? This is the thing, I used to see kids at 8 in the morning drinking Red Bull before school, right?
Yes.
Because it's the only way they can keep up with the days. And every time I used to walk past them, I used to think, what have you lot got planned? How come you need to have a litre of espresso? just before going into school. What I mean, it's only double maths. You're not pulling a truck with your teeth. Get off the caffeine, you lunatics. And like, imagine teaching that. Like just a sweaty mess, Gem, like twitching like that and chewing through their own faces like that. Just come in. Peter, get down from the ceiling. Who's humming? We all are, miss. It says eyebrows vibrating. Eyebrows, eyeballs. Eyebrows don't vibrate. I've had a lot of coffee myself. But like the thing is, you go to parents' evening. I bet the parents are going like, I don't know what's happened. He can't concentrate. Well, he's off his head. Do you know what I mean? It's his GCSE year, Mrs. Jenkins. What do you think he's going to? What do you predict he'll get? Well, diabetes. Clearly. I mean, just look at the pace of kids' TV. That's what I want to talk about. Like, it's just like you have to be on Ritalin to get through it. It's like even the classics they've changed now, and it really annoys me. Like Postman Pat, we remember the original Postman Pat, right? He was calm. He was part of the blue collar trinity. Postman Pat, Bob the Builder, Fireman Sam. Yes. It was so. He used to meander through the countryside. It was so steady and relaxing. Yes. Oh, beautiful. Well, it's all changed now. That's not good enough for the kids now. They've accelerated it. Postman Pat's SDS, Special Delivery Service. Good God. What is? They've privatised him, man. This is what's happened. He's just a glorified courier. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going, man. He's got like, Gemma, honestly, he's got like a wider stare. It's like he's not, you know, Jess, it's not a pet, it's an emotional support animal. You know what I mean? I was watching it with Olivia and I said to her, what are those graphs in the background? She said, oh, they're his targets. He's got bloody targets. It's Postman Pat, man. And like, this is a thing. What annoys me, sweetheart, is it used to be there's enough drama in the everyday. Yeah. Kids love a letter down the back of a seat. They love a storm. They love a flood. We don't need to see Postman Pat in an helicopter in 80-mile-an-hour winds, winching a dairy cow off a cliff. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what they're doing. They've given him all these vehicles, quad bikes, helicopters, jet skis. Do you know what I mean? And on average, he only delivers one parcel a day. Within walking distance. What's it? Is this postman? That doesn't stand up economically, does it? That unless that parcel is a kilo of uncut heroin. That's what's happening. Is this Postman Pat or Pablo Escobar? What are we dealing with? And I just think it's just that's what's going to happen. He's gonna one day it'll be over anyway, Jem. He'll be in an hedgerow drinking all day with Pat. And you'll just be mumbling to himself, and all he's doing is just throwing rocks at Amazon drones. They're just getting really angry. The problem is as well, schools are struggling to keep up with it, you know. That's the problem. They bombard you with stuff to do. It's not their fault. It's targets. You know, you're a teacher. World Book Day. Bloody, I hate World Book Day. If I have another World Book Day, I'm going to go mad. Do you know what I mean? Victorian Day. I find out about these on the walk to school on that day. Olivia will go, it's Victorian Day. When? Today. Oh, mate.
In an hour.
What am I supposed to do? So do you know what I do? I get her to put her hand up her sleeve, get her to walk with a limp and say you're a child who's been involved in an industrial accident. That's what you are. You've been working in the mill and you've fallen asleep. Now stop talking and start screaming, mate, because you need to be method on this one. And I think the problem is, right, the world as well. I don't like bringing up kids, and I'm going to move on to the next feature in a minute because I can tell Gemma's getting hot and sweaty. Here's the other thing, right? I don't like the world bringing up two girls, Gemma. It's too sexualised. Do you know what I mean? It's a scary world. Like the tabloids are worse, right? This is the thing, genuinely, right? I've realised, Gemma, if you go on the websites for tabloids, sex still sells, right? Yeah. And it's the same headline format. All it is, right? You get a name and a verb, another verb, and then a thing. So let me give you an example, Gemma. Rochelle, 23, sets pulses racing as she pops out of her tiny bikini. Right, standard format. And I don't like this. It's cheap. Right, and what you need to do, we need to take the power out of this. And I think we should just add these sentences in everyday life. So here, do you want one of mine? Do you want some of mine? Here you go. Scott, 41, sizzles as he spills out of his Kia sports wagon. Look at the warranty on that. Here, Scott, 42, turns up the heat as he erupts over his broadband deal. Scott shatters thermometers as he falls out of a Greggs. And here's the favourite, Gemma. This is the one. Daily Star, front page news. Scott, 41, flaunts hidden curves under a skimpy dressing gown as he unleashes his heaving brown bin. That's the one. But the problem is, we are. Thank you, darling. I wrote those this afternoon. We are too sexualised, right? And it's not our fault. It's just everywhere. Everything's on demand. Pornography's on demand. And like Moonpig, the card company, genuinely, they issued a warning to people on Twitter saying, please stop sending pictures of your genitals to make cards. It invalidates our T's and C's, which presumably stands for twats and cocks. I didn't know. But I mean, I know.
That's just given me a great idea for Mum's 70th.
No, don't. Oh God, no. Because this is. I presume it's birthday cards, love. Because it's a brave person who sends that in deepest sympathy. I'm so sorry about your Nana. Thinking of you, especially if it's a pop-up one.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh God.
And here's the thing. I'm going to move on to, right. The point is, and I'm going to leave this point here, right. That I'm worried about the future, right? I'm worried because we've got driverless cars coming up, Gemma. Yeah. That's an amazing technology. It's going to give freedom of mobility to people who are unable to drive. Blind people, disabled people, the Duke of Edinburgh, he'll be back on the road. You know, but because we're obsessed with sex, we'll ruin that. Because the first day you see a driverless car, do you know what else you'll see?
What?
Mooning. I guarantee mooning will come. That's another thing from the 80s, like candy sticks. Mooning will come back. And some of you might be too young to remember mooning. It was like early Snapchat, wasn't it, Jen? It was sexting on the move. It was our mobile dick pic. That's what it was. And every time you'd be driving along, wouldn't you? And you'd be like, British people just pressing the bare asses against the glass of moving for no reason, sober. And you'd be going down the motorway going, that's an arse, that. And he's driving. Every school trip we went on, you could barely get to the gates without some schoolboy dropping his trousers. I mean, probably not in Catholic schools, they know the risks. Do you know what I mean? But the point is, right, you couldn't do it now, there's too many cameras, and it's a really embarrassing way to get 6 points. Have to go on a Mooners awareness course. People just backing into the room of the Holiday Inn with a licence between the cheeks, do you know what I mean? And like Elon Musk is a genius, mate. Tesla, Gemma, he's brought together the finest minds in the world, engineering geniuses, Gemma, and I'm sure he's got a better vision than the reality we're going to give him. He's wanting to give technology that changes people, changes lives, Gemma, and it's going to be used by some bloke in Doncaster to get a hand job while he goes round the ring road holding a kebab. That is awful. We're going to move on to the next feature, sweetheart. Thank you for laughing through that with me. The next feature we've got, Gemma, is we're going to go to the wall of positivity.
Yay!
It's the wall of positivity. We haven't got a jingle for that, have we?
I'll write one, don't we?
The wall of positivity. That was quite good.
That
We've got Gemma, obviously, looking like a poodle. Chris Akabusi is every week. And we've got a special mention this week. My brother, Ross Bennett, and Holly, and their little girl, Poppy. They've got a new addition to the family coming, haven't they, Jem? It's a little boy. Go on.
I'm going to have a nephew.
You're going to have a nephew, a little boy, which means she's going to be buying boy clothes, sewing little boy hats. Amazing. The other thing is, Ross has broken the curse because we could only produce girls.
Oh.
No, honestly, because I've got one testicle, and I'll come on to that later, but... And I thought it was left for boys, right for girls, and I'd only got the right one left. But he's broken the curse, hasn't he? He's got someone to take on the family name. Congratulations. And also, Gemma, I've got a special mention. Mark Wilkinson's written in. Catherine French, she's expecting her first baby in August. So it's baby times. Baby, people firing out babies. Gemma fires out babies fast. Do you want to fire out another baby, Gem?
No.
No. Honestly, she did. I mentioned before the first two. God, you nearly had both of them in the car.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
No, we were going to call the Ford Focus Saloon. It's a lovely name.
Kia, that wouldn't have been a bad name.
If you'd have had it a cesarean, we could have had Ford Focus Saloon with a sunroof.
Yeah, lovely.
But the other thing is, like, Gemma was panicked, and so was I, because, Afterbirth isn't covered in the warranty. I was terrified. It was a brand new car.
It was a mess.
It was a mess, wasn't it? And I love the way you went into the hospital, Gem. Do you remember that? When you went into the hospital, and you said, she sort of came in, the head was hanging out, man.
I couldn't walk.
She looked upside down. It was weird. It was like a playing card or something. It's coming out like this, and then she sort of said, the woman said, if you'd like to come this way, I can show you your dressing gown, your room, and I'm just going to do it in the buff. And she just smacked a drink out of her hand and went for it. What a woman. It was like an Attenborough documentary. The other thing, right, so we've got, what a wonderful, that's the end of the wall of positivity. Thank you, that's incredible. We're going to move on, Gemma. We have another feature. What we're going to do now, we've got 5 minutes before we ring my mum and dad. I tell you what we're going to do. I want to tell you a feature, Gemma. It's a new feature we've got now. It is the feature is things Scott found on the internet because he's running out of material. Let's have a jingle.
We have got a jingle. For
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Let me just get up.
Come on, Gemma.
I'm struggling a bit.
Oh, come on, sweetheart. You can do this. Come on.
Right. Okay. Are you ready?
Go.
What is it again?
Things Scott found on the internet because he's running out of material.
Okay. Things that Scott found on the internet because he's running out of material.
You're bloody talented. That's why I married her. Just knocks that shit out. I found a story, Gemma. A woman has had saved her life because a bullet bounced off her breast implant.
What?
Yep, in America, the 30-year-old woman, has not been named, was walking down the street when she was shot. She only realised she had been shot when she felt heat and pain. And the doctors looked and said that the worst of her injuries was a fractured rib, and a bullet has cascaded off her breast implants and saved her life, Gemma. So it's kind of a booby trap. I mean, she's fine. She's feeling a little deflated. Thank you, I'm here every week in the shed. But I mean, it's incredible. You wouldn't think that would work, would you?
No,
But it would.
how is it even hard enough?
Well, the other thing is, Gemma, that bulletproof vest now is going to look very weird. You're going to have SWAT teams walking around with orders. Imagine that as a Mr. Bond. Pop this on. You're a 32B. But I just think that's incredible, Gemma. Absolutely incredible. I mean, would you have fake boobs, darling?
Well,
Would
never
you do?
say never.
I mean, it's really interesting that, because I do believe that women have the terrible deal in terms of their bodies, because men get away with it, don't we, love?
What?
Rick,
Get
well,
away with having boobs?
No, not with it. I mean, we get moobs. Do you know what I mean? But no, what I'm saying is, you get away. You have to go through childbirth. It's such a you know,
You're right,
it wrecks your body really, and it's not fair in many ways. But you know, I had a difficult pool last week, so I know what you're going through, ladies. But
Oh dear.
shit buggering. What the hell was that?
Scott, you're way behind.
I don't know what's
Way
happening
behind.
there. Anyway, just saw that on the timeline. When you see something like that, you have to question it. But I think because your body's changed, right? And Gemma won't mind me saying this, right? You become more natural with each other, like to the point where Gemma once, this is totally true, she'd been breastfeeding Sophia, right? And she just walked into the front room, and I'll be honest with you, I saw it come. You know what I'm going to say here?
Yeah.
She just had a tit hanging out. A bit of casual tit. It came. The nipple came in the room before she did, and just sort of had a look round, walked in. Honestly, and it was like trapped between the brow wire and the chest.
I say your dad didn't know what to put.
Yeah, Roy was shocked. But it looked like he was trapped between the brow wire and the I'll do the jokes, it's probably better. I'm joking. I never do that. She's incredible.
Oh!
Right, look, and he was trapped.
I should have gone to the loo before this.
It's too late. There's so many stains on this carpet from normal things. And so he was trapped between the brow wire and the it looked like someone treading on a dog toy, didn't it, love?
Yeah.
And so she sort of came in and I went, "You popped out." And she went, "Yeah." So, well, it's been breastfeed. It's only going to have to come out again, isn't it? Might as well get some air to it. I said, "Well, you're not going to..." No. Then she said, "Would you like a cup of tea?" I said, "Yeah." So she said, "Would you like a coffee? Do you like a coffee?" She sort of went out, came back. It's still out like that. And she said, "Oh, you take milk, don't you?" Not anymore. Never again. And I mentioned, and I'm going to do this before we ring my parents. Have we got time? It's time to ring my mum and dad, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Can I just tell one more thing to the ladies and gentlemen?
Go.
I mentioned this. My brother and his wife. They're going to have another edition. So it's wonderful, that. And because I'll be honest, we didn't think we were going to have kids, right? Because I'm irritating and Gemma doesn't like me. No. The reason is, right, is that I have one testicle, right, which is true, isn't it? Like, I lost it when I was 15. I'm saying that like it might be down the back of the sofa. It's definitely gone. Do you know what I mean? One woman, when I said this at a gig once, she said, "Clumsy." Clumsy? I didn't do it. Where did you last have it, love? Basically, when I was 15, right, I've accepted it. I'm in mono rather than stereo, right?
Yeah.
I have a motorbike and sidecar down there. Whenever I get aroused, it looks like an exclamation mark. And then afterwards, a question mark. Shall we go again? Definitely not, I feel. And what happened was, I remember I was 15, and it's traumatic when that happens. Even to this day, I can't open a tin of plum tomatoes without having a flashback. Do you know what I mean? There's no homemade ragu in the Bennett household. Every day is a Dolmio day, right? And I remember, right, I went to the doctors, right, because I sort of, he examined me, and he sort of said, oh, I think what we've got here, because it was like, here's the point, right? I've missed a bit out there, right? I remember it, like, because I woke up, like, it started, I was in agony in the night, right? And I don't know what it was, and I went to the doctors, and he examined me, and he said, oh, I think what we've got here is a pulled muscle. And I was like, well, obviously, mate. I'm 15 and I don't have a girlfriend. What else am I supposed to do with it? I'm holding it all together, my friend. There's a leaflet on examining your own breasts. I'm struggling. And he sent me home, and basically, right, in the night, like, I woke up and I was in agony, and they rushed me into A&E, and they said, like, it could be testicular cancer, right? And my dad cried. He did, Gemma, because they said I might be after being overnight, and it was 14.50 to park. And basically, what it wasn't testicular cancer. It was something called torsion testes, right, which is where they twist the tubes round. That's exactly the noise I made. It sounds like something Audi would put in a car, doesn't it? You know, das Vorsprung Technique und torsion testes. And what it is, right, it's because I had a deformed scrotum. And I know what you're thinking, ladies, but Scott, the male scrotum is normally such a beautiful organ. The male scrotum is a bit like the sun, right? It is. So we all know it exists, but best not look at it directly. That's my... And anyway, so they couldn't save it. They removed it, and that's the deal. And I'm happy with it. You know, I'm happy with it. I've not gone for an implant. I could have had an implant like that woman, not a breast implant, but you know what I mean, an implant. And I didn't go with it. And but here's the interesting thing: is that I've developed an aversion to hospitals. Gemma wants me to go have a vasectomy. You know, forget it, mate. You know, I said to her, last time I went and let someone loose with a scalpel down there, I lost a testicle. You don't go back and park your car in the same street where someone nicked your alloys, do you? Oh dear, we've got a little bit more buffering, haven't we? But is it all right? Does it seem smooth on that end? We just keep going, don't we? Just have to keep going, plough on. We're gonna now go to my mum and dad, everyone, live to Roy and Mags, and we're gonna play a game of Pudding's Price is Right.
Oh,
with Roy.
what?
Yes, let's ring them up.
Let's
ring
do
them
it.
up.
Right,
let's do
crank
it.
up the old volume.
Yeah, let's get that cranked
Here
up,
we go.
babe.
Let's see if this is coming through.
Oh, yes. Beautiful, yeah. Are we all right, do you think?
We're fine,
So I'll just keep cracking on?
Yeah, crack on, look.
Why does it catch itself up?
Yeah. Hello!
Hello!
Oh,
Good evening!
Good evening, how are you?
I'll put you on to Roy.
Thank you.
Right, quick.
Don't hold up the price.
Oh, I better not.
Coming at you from Yorkshire.
Hey! Good evening, Royston. Good evening, Royston, how are you?
We're champion.
Fantastic. We're going to play a bit of a game.
Some old photographs of you when you were a child.
What are you? Are you crying over them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to do a game of Pudding's Price is Right with you, based on last week.
Woo!
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go. Right. This is what we're going to do.
Are you ready?
Right, Dad. Are you ready for the first one? It's really.
It's okay, darling. Carry on, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
We're going to
Hold it
carry
up
on.
to the camera.
Right, Dad. What your first one is a Millionaires cheesecake from Iceland.
Yeah.
Now you've got three choices of prices. You've got $3.99, you've got $2.49, or £2.
Ooh. I'll go for the $2.49.
Oh, it's £2, Dad. It's £2.
Oh, back a little bit so they can
To
see.
put them down then.
Ah!
It's another one, Dad. We're going to do.
Next pudding.
Next pudding is the Costco Kirkland Muffins. It's a classic.
Oh, tell him how many are in the pack.
There is 12 in a pack. Is it $6.99, $4.49, or $8.99?
Well, you actually get two for the price of one there at Costco.
Right. What do you reckon
and
then?
I do believe there's 6 in a pack. So that, obviously that makes a dozen. And what are the prices you said?
I'm making them up here. $6.99, $4.99, or $8.98?
I think it's the $6.99.
It's $8.98, Roy.
Oh, I thought he'd have known the muffin one. I think
fine.
I threw him on that one. Oh, what's next?
They've overcharged me. Wait while I get back to Costco.
Yeah, right, what's next? Keep going. Hold it up.
Right, okay. Here we go. We've got Mr. Kipling, treacle sponge, pack of 2.
Oh,
Right, what is this, Dad? Is it $2.99, $1.99 or $1.98?
Where's it from?
It's just
Mr. Kipling.
Mr. Kipling, isn't it?
Oh, Mr. Kipling's bought it.
Yeah, treacle sponge.
It's direct from Mr. Kipling, from Sainsbury's.
Just give me those prices again.
Good God, he's taking this
What was
seriously.
laughing here?
$2.99, $1.99 or $1.98?
Oh, that's a shit. 1 penny in it. Oh, crikey. I'd hate to lose a penny. $1.98.
$1.98, you're right, Roy.
You got it right.
And for the final bonus round, Roy, here we go.
Oh, this is my absolute favourite.
Carnation, formerly Tip Top.
Yeah.
Carnation Cream, Tip Top. Is it $1.99, $2.98 or $3.99?
Are we talking today's prices or when I bought it in 1953?
Today's prices for evaporated milk.
Oh.
This cheapest one you've said.
What? $2.98?
No, what were the other ones you said?
$1.99.
$1.99.
$1.99.
It's
And what was the other one?
$2.98 or $3.99.
Oh, the cheapest one.
$1.99.
$1.99.
It's $2.98, Roy, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Well,
Busted.
you got 2 out of 4, Dad.
Oh,
That's
not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. We want to know what you're going to play us out with.
Yeah.
I mean, this
We're
is.
going to stick with breast milk. Right then.
Let's do it.
To be fair, while we were looking at your show tonight,
Yeah.
we had a Colin Granby request Hi-Ho Silver Lining.
Let's do it then.
Yes.
But we're not doing that.
All right.
I got excited then.
What are we going to
We can't
do?
play that just yet. We've got to rehearse that a bit.
Okay.
So
Stand up for this one.
We picked a song out because you said you were doing it about childhood. There is a little bit about children in this song. And it's a song that's not that well known. It's Ringo Starr, and it was called Octopus's Garden.
Right.
Oh,
Let's
yes.
do it.
Now we haven't got a backing group,
Right.
so your mother's going to have to do the boom 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 bits in it.
Let's have a bit of bum 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 from Mags.
Okay, so I'll just get my tackle together.
Okay. He's not going decorating, is he?
No.
I wonder if it's gone.
Right, with me,
I'm not sure if
It
it's
It
gone.
is, Scott.
How do you know
right,
it's
we're ready. Okay, shall we start?
Oh, here we go.
I like to be
Oh, I like this one.
under the tree in an octopus's garden in the shade. Three letters in, don't play with me in an octopus's garden in the shade. I'd ask my friends to come and see. Garden with me. Boom, boom, boom. I like
Oh, there's little bums.
in an octopus's garden in the shade. The words we want below the stars in our little hideaway beneath the waves. Rest in our head on the seabed in an octopus's garden in a cave. We would sing and dance around because we know we can be found. Boom, 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 boom. I like
Yeah.
under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Oh, and
Ruben and
kazoo.
We would shout and swim about the coral that lies beneath the waves. Oh,
Well done, Mum and Dad. That was amazing. Well done. Well done. That was fantastic.
Enjoy your heart out.
Oh, what beautiful bum bums as well. We will thank you so much, Mum and Dad. We will see you again next week. Take care, stay safe. Love you.
Love you. Bye. Bye.
Oh.
Just keep going.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I've got to keep going apparently. So we're going to keep going. Thank you so much. I hope there's not been any technical problems. If there have, please do watch the stream on catch up. And I do apologise. We're doing our best with what we've got. We will see you all again next week. If you did enjoy the show, the donations link's there. Thank you so much for all your support and for sharing the videos. We really do love it. Because I'm irritating and Gemma doesn't like me. Don't do that, Gemma. Oh my God, if it's not just as difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing the stream, and thank you for Gemma for heckling me with my own voice there. We will see you all again next week, same time, same place, and we'll see you all again. Love you, bye-bye, good night.